Hey everyone, it's Keighley here, and today I'm sharing a process video for Pretty My Paige. The cut file that I'm going to be using today is this absolutely stunning Paige Evans Peacock cut file. And the reason that I picked this cut file was because I knew I had a picture of a peacock. So I really wanted to scrap it because there is quite a deep story behind this photo, and I definitely wanted to include this in my albums. So anyway, the story behind the photo is it was shortly after I had my daughter Darcy, and I started suffering really bad with anxiety. So much so that I was struggling to actually leave the house. And at the start, I was, like many of us, I was in denial. I kept telling myself there's nothing wrong, and I kept trying to really force myself to leave the house and go for walks and various things. So this picture was actually taken on one of those walks. And then it was shortly after this that I realised I did need some help, and that I needed to go to see my doctor and get some support and help from him. So I've now been struggling on and off with my anxiety for 5 years. It's something that I find it's really important to talk about, and I do find that it helps to talk about my anxiety, and I think that it's quite important that I document that as well for my children, so they can see how I dealt with certain things that I struggled with throughout my life. But I mean, I'm in a pretty good place now. I'm on medication, and my children are like the main thing that I focus on to help me through difficult times. And there's a piece that one of the die cut pieces that I'm going to include in a minute, which says focusing on the good, and that's definitely kind of the motto that I live by. So I definitely had to include that, and that's one of the reasons, as well as the colours in this collection. Was one of the reasons I chose this collection, is because I knew it had this specific piece. So anyway, the collection that I am using, which I haven't mentioned yet, is the collection that we used for our NSD event on Scrap Squad. I had quite a bit left of the kit that we had, and I'm just going to slowly work through that. And cut files definitely do help. If you've only got scraps and little bits and pieces of pattern paper left in a collection or a kit, cut files are perfect for getting that used up. Because when you're back in a cut file, you really don't need to use much. Like for this one, for example, I've only used some small bits of pink pattern paper, and for the rest of the cut file I've used vellum, and that was just purely because I wanted my background cardstock to be my main colour of my peacock, because I felt like it was the closest to the real thing. Obviously I know peacocks don't really have much pink in them, but they do have this deep green and like tealy colours, and I really love those colours. So anyway, I'm just adding some more die cuts. I've picked ones that mainly mean, how gorgeous this peacock is, and I love the baby bloom piece. I felt like it worked perfectly because in my photo, which you can see in my close-ups in a minute, the peacock's got all its feathers out, and it looks absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to also pull in these gems, which these have been in my stash now for way over 10 years. I used to pick them up every time I went into the range and places like that. And I must admit I've neglected them massively over the past, I'd say, 3 or 4 years, and I still have lots of different colours in my stash. And since the January stash bash, I've been trying to use these up, and more so the older packets that I have, which this is one of them. So anyway, please do check out the Pretty My Paige website, where you'll find all the cut files that are available. And thank you for watching. Bye.